హైదరాబాద్లో అందరికీ స్వాగతం సుస్వాగతం. అందరూ బాగున్నారా? భోజనమైందా? Okay, so I can't speak more than this, so apologies. But to be here, it's with so much discussions, so many. This one, I think, some of you. One task is already told by MC. You'll have to take a passport, some seal, and then one more task. I think when you go back, in some organizations, I know when you go back and you have to fill up a travel statement, they'll say, okay, what did you learn? So perhaps you might have to takeaways. So one or two takeaways as to what did I learn, or what did I, or whom did I meet the last one full day, right? So one is of course passport. You can take a picture and then say, okay, see, I met so many stalls, I met so many people, and perhaps some of, if you are lucky, you get some goodies. I think very good goodies. Some iPads were announced in the morning. So please be, some of you might be lucky to get the iPads. Okay. So why am I here? Okay, so how many of you not heard about Bosch? No hands are raising. Okay, so everybody knows about Bosch. Okay, but what is Bosch doing today here? I mean, we are not put up a stall to market our power tools or our cameras or our washing machines, dishwashers. I hope it's all working fine at your homes. Okay. Okay. So what is Bosch doing here? They said industry presentation. Okay. What is industry presentation? So Bosch has been set up their GCC way back in 90s in India. So how many of you knew this? So we are one of the oldest GCCs working over 3 decades, based out of Bangalore. Of course, we have expanded now to many cities. So let's go through as to what did we take us till here. Interesting? I think now you can raise your hands. Is it interesting? It will be interesting. Okay, only few in the dark I could see. Okay, couple of here. Okay, I think it's a challenge for me to make it interesting. So this division, which I belong to, Software and Digital Solutions. So GCC has been there since 3 decades. In Bosch, over 35,000 employees are currently working, supporting Bosch globally, working under 300 locations globally. So when we had this GCC running over 3 decades, many customers used to come and say, hey, who is solving this IT issue, or that SAP implementation, or this digital transformation, or this I 4.0 issue? So we do it ourselves. Okay. We have some issue. Why don't you guys fix this? And based on the customer, I mean, the customer is God. So customer says we have to go fix it. We have to go fix it. So even though it was not our solution, so we went there and started fixing it, and that's where more and more requests started coming in. So this division is basically supporting, like any other IT service provider, providing the solutions what we implement inside Bosch. Okay, so it all started. Is GCC, you need to have a GCC. If you don't have a GCC, what is that price you are paying? Okay, over the years we have seen. I think we ourselves have seen this journey over 3 decades. So it's no more that you need to have a tick mark, like we had a previous session. You need to have a tick mark, do we have a GCC here? So we understood that it's no more a tick mark, it's the one which runs your organization. I think it's realized. Morning we had the sessions where they said that we just started during COVID time from 250 and now 2,500, and now they expanded to 5,000 people. So when we made this slide, we didn't know that there'll be a constant update. So morning, Saurav from Economic Times said that it's not 1,600, 1,700. It's not 1.5 million, it's close to 2 million. So we didn't know that it's so fast. Okay, and why? I would say that those people who are not there in this 1.6 1,600 GCCs, they need to be worried. hey, why are we not here? Are we not late? I think they should be thinking. I mean, we can keep on complaining about infrastructure being late, etc., etc. But sorry, those who are here, they have reaped the benefits. Those are not there, they're still waiting and seeing when to come in. Okay, it's high time for them. When they have to take a decision, I don't think they have a choice. And the key GCC locations, what we see, mainly in south, of course, Hyderabad, Mana Hyderabad, and Pune and Bosch is there in all these 4 locations. Okay, this is a very standard how the journey has happened over the years. So I don't want to dwell much upon. These slides are all available after the end of the presentation. You'll be getting all the slide deck. So from where we started, from the low-hanging fruits, cost arbitrage, high-cost location versus low-cost location. Okay, and now transforming into the technology hubs, the innovation hubs, the driving hubs. It's a paradigm shift. So this was a study done some few years back as to where you want to have. And this is a message for each and every GCC when they want to start. Hey, where I need to be there. Of course, cost is one driving parameter, but you need to decide, I just want to have it for a tick mark purpose, or I want to use this GCC platform to disrupt my business. I need to gather leadership position. So over the years, this was done by Zinov, and you see that various organizations which has worked here and where they are, and Bosch is also prominently placed there. So since it was an industry presentation, it was also given an expectation as to please tell us how you have gone through this journey. And we found that there are basically 4 models, and each GCC, even though you have started, might be you can do a course correction. You might have started at the M2, but you are not there in M4. Perhaps you have started already in M4, but are you really reaping those benefits? So there are different models. So this is based on various studies across the GCCs over 3 decades, because for GCC, if there is any center of competence that's in India, it is here. Okay. So we have seen that over the years, these are the 4 different models which has evolved. So each one model has its own pluses and minuses. Of course, the cost arbitrage was the first one, when we wanted to see some benefits in short term. This is still there. Even though the ASEAN countries are now more competitive in terms of cost, Philippines and so on, than India, I think we need to understand that. And the cost of living, the expectation of a middle class, a software engineer when he comes out, what he was expecting 10, 15 years back, and now it's different. The cost is not that what was there 2 decades back. It will slowly become a threat. So please, we need to evaluate on that. Of course, the second model, they started from the cost arbitrage from the entire functions. Can we outsource the logistics part, or the CRM, the customer relationship management, the call center, the functions, right? It started like that. Of course, it gave you some productivity improvement, some efficiency improvement, but it also had some limitations. Then going on to the next model, wherein you started having your competencies, R&D. I think we saw a chart from Goldman Sachs in the morning. The highest ratio of value addition is coming from the R&D. And biggest one which is growing is on the consultancy, the professional consultancy. This will grow. So this is where the GCCs need to focus. So start in India, yes, there's a platform, there is the availability of talent, English speaking. Indians are flexible, agile, when I don't tell those things. The last, the model 4, which will definitely give you a biggest benefit for your organizations. If you're not there, I'm saying you're late. You already lost. You need to catch up. So how do we do this? Innovation, there is no substitute for innovation. And as you see, innovation follows this cycle in every organization. And you need to innovate every day in, day out. And today, GCCs are not just replacing a high cost resource to a low cost resource. No, you need to innovate here. That's where you get the value. Otherwise, when there's no point, you'll be in the model 1 or model 2. So we do have a framework as to how this innovation, this Bosch Access, we leverage this, transforming from the market, the region, the local requirements, and how do we do this, and then how the GCCs supporting that to bring out the products and services, which is making Bosch a fascinating place to work, not only to work, but also continue to grow globally. And here, the mantra, what we say, the stakeholders need to understand, yes, let's have a GCC. Okay, then what? So we'll get some advantage. Okay, then what? Okay, so please, there are organizations which has gone through this cycle. So please understand where you want to start, have a clear roadmap, what do you want to do, whether you want model 2 or model 4, please decide on that, have a clear sponsor from the board member as to what are the things what you want to do. India is available for everything. It's the choice what we want to make, right? So over the years, as I told you, there have been requests coming to Bosch as to how do you want to do it. So we have something like, if you want to have a something greenfield GCC, how you want to do it. There's a templates available which you can use it for the GCC community who wants to start the new GCC. I could just meet a couple of them. They were thinking, okay, we want to set up a GCC in India. We're just having some brainstorming session. We're discussing and we're meeting some industry experts and so on. Okay, so you need to focus on every aspect. Okay, you might say, why is HR topic is there? Why is the legal topic is there? I think everything is required. When you want to start a GCC, it's not just have a small startup company and then everything falls in place. No. So from the industry background and the experience what Bosch has gone through over the decades, and having gone through these models, various models, so there is, I would say, a recipe as to how it can be adapted, templatized, which can be used by the organizations to get a pedestal jump. That means you get a pedestal jump, you don't have to redo, you don't have to reinvent. So what we say is, you just don't need a map, but you need a guide. And Bosch can be your guide for that. Okay, I think I kept my time. And I really thank you for the audience. I hope you have some takeaways to take back to fill up your travel statements, that what I have learned. And if you still have some queries, questions, my colleagues are there. I've joined with my colleagues. Vinod, might be you can just stand up. Vinod is there. We have Ram. I don't see Suraj. And Tejasvi, okay, perhaps Tejasvi is here. Okay. Okay, so thank you very much. And I am not between you and the food. I hope you still have to sit here for some more sessions. So please bear with that with the organizers.